I'd like to talk to you this evening about influencing and inclusion and inspiration. And no one in the audience at all knows what I'm going to do now, but why not? May I? When I was asked to come here, I was delighted for many reasons, but interestingly because of the disability and inclusion paper that's been released for a decision to be made hopefully in November regarding the strategy on the island, and I find that fascinating, really interesting. So as part of my visit, I was taken today to Leonard Cheshire Disability Home, where I met a gentleman called Paul who suffers from MS, and Paul is going to take part in your marathon in October next year, and he's going to do it by hand cycling. And if you were to meet Paul, as I did today, I was just thinking this is going to be quite a tough challenge, but I just think I know he's going to do it. He's been gifted the cycle part of the hand cycle, and he needs funding or someone to step up to pay for the wheelchair that's going to be attached to it. That's all he needs, and then he can train properly. I thought I'd show you the picture, because if someone in the room wanted to put their hand up and say they'd do it, I'd be very grateful. And secondly, on ITV channel, your ITV channel at 6:30, that's going to go out. So if nothing else, your business might get a publicity. So may I ask if there are any takers? Yeah, you got it. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's the influencing piece, I guess, a little bit, because that's what I do. But I didn't realise that the inclusion piece and the inspiration piece and the influencing is really what I was about until quite recently. On all the interviews this afternoon and throughout the day, which is very nice to be interviewed, they're not celebrity interviews, because that's not what I do, and that's not who I am. But sometimes you can be typecast or known for the physical challenges that you've done. But that's not what I'm about at all, actually. They've enabled me to get through my own journey. Not my physical journey, they've enabled me to get through my psychological, emotional, and mental journey, which you can't see. You can see the stick, and you can see the scars, and you can see I take a little bit of time to walk or even fall over. But there's a lot more to it. So over the last 5 years, I've thought I was doing the right thing for raising money for specific charities or causes or people. And the timing's been, I've been very lucky with the timing, because it's all about timing. Right charity, you become a funnel for the public's emotional support to support a cause that they believe in. And money was raised, and I managed to finish the challenges. It wouldn't have mattered if I had failed any of the challenges. It's actually about giving it a go. But I was more concerned about proving myself to people that I could offer something in life than I was about what it was for. And I can reflect on that now, and I get it. I only get it because when I finished my last challenge, which was one of the reasons why I'm here, is to say thank you to the island, is that I embarked on a journey last year to walk in every county or state of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and to be hosted each day by a college, school, university, or a charity, or a voluntary youth organisation, or a part of the armed forces, because I needed to be safe and secure for the young people I was meeting, and I wanted young people to be part of that. And if I hadn't have had that support when I was here last year, I wouldn't have completed the challenge. So thank you. But the reasoning behind last year was that my counselling started in January, when I realised I was quite emotionally tired. It's very easy when it can be, I don't mean to say this in the wrong way, sometimes when you walk in as a complete stranger to a charity and you don't know who you're going to meet when you walk in, it can be quite hard to grasp the situation And when you walk out, although it's not your emotional journey, you can be touched by that, or by what you see. And nothing prepares you for that. But when you do it over a long period of time, you're realizing that there's quite a lot of emotion inside, right? And you don't know what to do with it, and you don't know how to channel it. So when someone says, "How are you?" it all just gushes out at the wrong time. So I thought I'd always said no to counselling because I felt that it was a weakness, and a little bit in the armed forces, you don't want to show too much weakness because you're a big brave soldier and all that sort of stuff. But I realised I needed to do it to move on to the next part of my journey. And only because of that, I can now reflect on all the emotions I felt, on all the different physical challenges or steps of the last 5 years, and think, I understand that now. I understand exactly where I was. But by working with young people, which is the area that I have decided feels absolutely right and natural, is because I was 36 when I was injured, and the infrastructure around me, my family and my friends and the community I knew, were there, and it was quite well established. As you get older, it's going to be. And all I had to do was get out of hospital and try and get out of the wheelchair, and then move on from crutches to stick. But if I were a 16-year-old girl, and I haven't had a relationship, be it physical or emotional, be I a 16-year-old girl who has a catastrophic injury and trauma in her life, her schooling and education is going to stop suddenly. And when she comes back after her rehabilitation on her own journey, all her friends have moved on. She still may not have had that relationship, but she's now looking at herself thinking, is someone going to love me for who I am, to like me, and does she like herself? Possibly, some young people may wobble, excuse me, a little bit. And what can happen, which is the area I concentrate on, is that they could feel very depressed, of which I have felt even during the physical challenges, or they could self-harm. And I don't think anybody really knows quite how big that situation is anywhere in Great Britain, Northern Ireland, because you can't see it, and because young people sometimes don't have the confidence to talk about it, and there is a stigma attached to it, be it self-hurting, alcohol, drugs, whatever that self-harming is. So influencing and the inclusion side of things and the inspiration side of things is how I'm trying to focus what I want to achieve, which is to support other charities and build a centre for other charities. So I'm not trying to do it on my own, I'm trying to listen to the experience of other organisations, including Leonard Cheshire Disability, interestingly, of which all the chief execs are advisors to the charity. But it's about working together, and what's very interesting is working together as a community. It's quite nice to walk into a room and know you know one or two people in the room. And my relationship with Wayne over the last year or so is because when I was here, Wayne and Julie looked after me, and they believed in what I was trying to do with a walk. And Wayne encouraged a lot of young people to walk with me, so I could understand more about the island and more about young people in this community. And if it weren't for support like that, it wouldn't have happened, as I said earlier on. What develops as a community is being part of Wayne's part of UK Scouting as ambassador. It's how you help each other out. It's how you do that little bit more because you have this personal relationship. And I think what's interesting about trying to achieve something for a charity within a community is there has to be a personal relationship. Someone from business has to understand what the charity is all about. They have to understand it, and they have to have an emotional attachment to it. And that's quite a hard thing to do. But what's wonderful about this evening is that that's all coming together through Foundation. I could go on for a while, and I don't know if I'm getting there. But I just wanted to say many congratulations to everyone who's going to be on stage this evening. It's an absolute pleasure to be back on the island. So thank you very much indeed for what you've done this evening, because it will enable Paul to champion Leonard Cheshire, promote the Guernsey Marathon, and show that even with MS you can achieve. So thank you very much.